My name is Dan Inosanto. I teach here at the Inosanto Academy in Marina del Rey. Military, I went to several jobs. I went through a basic training, and then they'd send me to light vehicle training school, I think it's 640, light vehicle training. After that, I signed up to go into the airborne. So I went into the airborne, and I had 1 month, in those days, 1 month of pre-airborne school, which is nothing but running, getting in shape. I volunteered for the draft, because in those days there was a draft, so I volunteered. I wanted to get my 2 years over to make sure I didn't have to serve 3. And I went in September, I believe, 11th or 18th of 1959. I stayed till 61 of September of 61. I was raised, went through a little bit of what we call Okinawan Tay at that time, and jiu-jitsu with my uncle, who I think in 1945 he came back after the war. He's not my real uncle, but I was kind of raised by his brother, Johnny Evangelista and Vincent Evangelista. And he was one of the main instructors of Captain Odesmo in the 1st Filipino Infantry and in the 2nd Filipino Infantry. They what they call a self-defense instructor. I was constantly learning, and I think I got most of my learning. I was very fortunate to be trained under Henry Szymanski. He's kind of a legend in the 101st Airborne Division. He was also the head sergeant of 101st Airborne Jump School. I trained under Sergeant Whiteman, Sergeant Sowers. Those are my main instructors. Sal Pruitt, if I can remember all the names. But my main sergeant was Whiteman and Henry Szymanski. Kind of a legend in the 101st Airborne Division at that time. It was Ed Parker's idea to kind of spread the martial art world, that every system always had a philosophy. So in those days, you were either Korean style or a Japanese style or Okinawan style. And Ed Parker at that time brought Bruce Lee to show that there was a martial art that the Chinese had. He brought in Professor Ben Lagusa to show that the Filipinos had a martial art also, and he brought in, so he taught a Kali and a Eskrima and an S to the public. That's the first time in '64 was the exposure at the first International Karate Championship of these other arts that other nationalities had also. Many people thought he was a little bit on the cocky side, but I never got that impression. He was well assured. I'm much older than Bruce Lee, so I never thought a person younger you could have that much knowledge, and he was very knowledgeable because he studied other systems beside Wing Chun. And he was open to incorporating things he learned from other people. He's a genius, in my opinion. He's my teacher. Well, I like the word I shared with him double stick fighting. I shared with him stick and dagger. I shared with him single stick. The single stick can be translated into sword. The double stick can be translated into a double sword or sword and shield. So I always like to say that I shared with him and he taught me. He's my teacher. He asked me to first be it was called The Green Hornet. It was a TV show, and he asked me to be one of the bad guys and stunt another person. So I said, I'll be glad to do it. Later on, he let me to be in one of it's called The Game of Death. And so he let me be in that picture. My wife was trained under Freddie Degerberg in Chicago. He had a very big, successful martial arts school. And that's where I first met her. And then she moved here. And she became my best friend before my girlfriend and then before my wife. So she knows that without the school, probably the school wouldn't run without her, because I'm not too good of a businessman. I don't know how to collect dues and stuff like that. So the success of this academy is probably her. Oh, I forgot. Yes, my daughter has also done some things in the movie industry. I think she's Mandalorian. I can't even remember all the different things she's been. She trains a lot of actresses and prepare them for the movies. I think can't remember one particular one. Some of it was a comedy, but I thought she did a really good job. I recommend all servicemen take some sort of martial art. One that dealt with empty hand skill, takedown skill, submission skill. One that evasion skill. I think you should learn that. My wife really believes in that very firmly, that we should dedicate something to the military. This is something she felt was very, very important, that the military be honored. And so they give their due, because without a good military, your country can't stand. You know, people will run over, and it's a necessary thing you have to have. I put MacArthur's picture up there because he's kind of like a mini demigod to the Filipino people. They're very Wainwright and MacArthur doing World War II. This is probably before your times, but you might not remember World War II. So MacArthur is kind of a big thing to the Filipino population, and since we teach the Filipino martial art, we thought it was appropriate to have pictures like MacArthur on the wall. A lot of my students have gone into the military service, and because of the martial art training, they've all written me back that they could better deal with the service, and then got them pretty good positions from their martial art training. My students are all over. They've probably taken the art way beyond I've taken it. You know, they've been in SEALs, they've been in Delta Team, they've been in the Special Forces. So I know that if I mention one person, then I don't mention another person, somebody's going to get hurt that I didn't mention their name. So rather than that, they all have taken it to a different. I like to think they've taken it to a level even farther than I probably would have taken it. Okay, well, happy Asian American Day, and to all the people there. I hope it comes out well for everybody.